Hello, my name is Mystic Young. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to be accompanied by a live audience today, so I'm going to have to make do without one. Have you or someone you know ever been in a dire medical emergency and you're getting rolled into the emergency room and they're getting ready to operate and treat you, and you notice the doctor walks in and is covered in visible tattoos, and you refuse treatment until you find a doctor who does not have tattoos? Have you ever been in that situation? Would you refuse a doctor if you were in that situation? Yeah, me neither. So it goes without saying that there is a stigma that surrounds people who are tattooed in the workplace. Now, tattoos have become more popular in recent years, and that may have contributed to a decrease in the stigma. And this could be noted in an interview conducted by Allison Beard in 2018 with Professor Michael T. French from the University of Miami, where Professor French states that in 40% of United States households, there is at least one person who is tattooed, or at least has one tattoo. So, despite being more present in society and perhaps more accepted in society, the stigma has yet to be eradicated. This can be shown in a study that was conducted by Ashley Hilliker in 2012. It was more of a questionnaire and less of like a study, but she questioned 18 to 25-year-olds. And in this questionnaire, she found that non-tattooed people viewed tattooed people as more rebellious, less attractive, less respectful, and less presentable. But she also found in this study that there were no significant definitive negative attitudes towards tattooed employees. So despite there being a correlation between maybe negative personality characteristics and tattooed people, there was no there was no negative correlation between tattooed employees and being in the workforce. So if there's no negative attitude, or at least no significant negative attitude towards people who are tattooed in the workforce, and there's also a decrease in the stigma, why should we allow tattooed people in the workplace? So Natalie Rigoli compiled a list of pros and cons for having tattooed people in the workplace. Some of the cons that she included were that some people might view tattoos as unprofessional or maybe offensive. And referring back to the interview by Allison Beard with Professor French, Professor French does note the potential offensiveness, but he also suggests that offensiveness is subjective. So what one person finds offensive, another person might not. And he notes this by comparing the Confederate flag. Some people find it as a hint back to culture, and some people find it offensive. So offensiveness is subjective. But another con is that some people, even employees, believe that tattoos might reflect negatively on a business and appear unprofessional. And another con is that some people, unfortunately, despite whether it's right or wrong, are just simply judgmental, and they will judge another person based on their appearance. However, Rigoli also lists some pros, and to me, the pros far outweigh the cons. So, one of the pros is that it limits issues with unlawful termination. If somebody is tattooed due to religious or cultural beliefs, they may feel inclined to pursue legal action if they feel that they were wrongfully terminated, or if they feel that they were wrongfully judged due to their tattoos that they have for cultural or religious beliefs. And it may be against their cultural or religious beliefs to cover it up while they're working. So another pro is it allows the environment to appear more artistic and more creative. And that might be perceived by a customer, and it might make them feel more inclined to purchase the product or use the service that is given. Finally, a third pro is that you may miss the opportunity to hire some creative people if you limit the people who are tattooed into being hired into your company. So if you do hire people who are tattooed, you could find some amazingly talented people. Tattoos do not limit work ethic or potential. And almost all of the people that I know personally have at least one tattoo. And many of these people are extremely successful and extremely creative and extremely hardworking, incredible people. So, in my opinion, our bodies are a canvas. And the only difference that's between a human canvas like myself or a painter's canvas like a cotton canvas is that a painter's canvas can be destroyed. It can be lost. It can be ruined. It can be sold. It can be destroyed in some way. But our human bodies as canvases are permanent. And the only way that they will be destroyed is through like laser surgery or once we pass away and our bodies begin to deteriorate. Our art on our bodies are forever. They're permanent expressions of who we are and who our story and what our story is. And that's the only difference between a painter's canvas and a human canvas. One can be destroyed and one is forever. Thank you.